A medical student walks into a bar through the only entrance. Security cameras watch him go in. He never comes out. And there's nowhere else to go. Police reviewed every second of footage. They searched every inch of the building. They interviewed everyone who was there that night. Brian Shaffer entered the Ugly Tuna Saloona at 1:55 a.m. on April 1, 2006. He should have been impossible to lose. But 20 years later, no one has seen him since. Columbus, Ohio, March 31, 2006. Spring break. Brian Shaffer is 27 years old, second-year medical student at Ohio State. Bright future, engaged to his girlfriend Alexis. His mother died of cancer just 2 weeks ago, and his father still recovering from the same disease. Brian's dealing with it the way a lot of people do, going out with friends, trying to feel normal. That Friday night, Brian and his friend William Clint Florence start bar hopping. They hit a few places before ending up at the Ugly Tuna Saloona around 9 p.m. It's a second-floor bar in a gateway complex near campus. One entrance, one exit. Same door for both. They're drinking, talking to women. At one point, Brian's caught on camera talking to two girls near the bar. He's smiling, relaxed. At 1:55 a.m., security footage shows Brian and Clint re-entering the bar after briefly stepping outside. Brian's wearing a light-colored shirt. The camera captures him clearly, walking through that single entrance, talking on his cell phone, stepping back into the bar. That's the last confirmed sighting of Brian Shaffer. But what happened next would make investigators question everything they thought they knew about disappearance cases. Here's what should have happened. The bar closes at 2 a.m. Everyone leaves through the same door they entered. The security camera points directly at it. Here's what did happen. Nothing. Brian's friend Clint leaves around 2 a.m. with a girl he'd met. He assumes Brian left on his own. Maybe went home with one of the women he'd been talking to. Normal night, no alarm bells. But Brian never makes it to his girlfriend Alexis's apartment, where he was supposed to meet her the next day. He doesn't show up for dinner with his father on Sunday. His phone goes straight to voicemail. On Monday, April 3rd, 3 days after that night, Alexis reports him missing. Police immediately pull the security footage from the Ugly Tuna. They watch every minute, every angle. The camera catches everyone leaving. Students stumbling out drunk. Couples holding each other up. Staff members leaving after close. Every single person who entered that bar walks back past that camera, except Brian. Detective John Hurst watched that footage so many times he could identify people by their shoes. "We accounted for everyone," he later said. Everyone but Brian. And that's when they discovered the architectural detail that changed everything. The Ugly Tuna Saloona is on the second floor of a gateway complex. One stairwell leads up to the entrance, that's it. Or at least that's supposed to be it. Police searched the entire building. They found a service entrance in the back of the bar, a small construction area that led to other businesses in the complex. But that area wasn't accessible to patrons. You'd have to go through employee areas, move barriers, navigate corridors. They checked it anyway. They brought in cadaver dogs. The dogs alerted in the construction area, but they alert on lots of things. No body, no blood, no signs of foul play. They interviewed every staff member, every patron they could identify from footage. The two women Brian was talking to that night, nothing. No one saw him leave. No one saw anything unusual. They pulled his phone records. His last call was to Alexis at 1:49 a.m., 6 minutes before he walked back into the bar. The call went to voicemail. After 2 a.m., his phone never pinged another cell tower. It either died or was turned off. They checked his bank accounts, his credit cards. Not a single transaction after that night. His car was still in the parking lot. Keys inside, wallet and ID never found. The Columbus Police Department called it one of the most baffling cases they'd ever encountered. Because here's what they knew for certain. Brian Shaffer entered a bar with one public exit. He never walked past the camera pointing at that exit, and he vanished. But the investigators weren't prepared for what they found when they started looking into the people closest to Brian. Theory 1. He left through the construction area. It's possible. The area wasn't completely sealed off. Maybe Brian was drunk, took a wrong turn looking for a bathroom, ended up in the back corridors. Maybe he went down a different stairwell, left the complex, and then what? Fell into the nearby Olentangy River? The river was searched multiple times. Nothing. Theory 2, foul play inside the bar. But there's no evidence of a struggle. No blood, No witnesses seeing anything violent. And how do you move a body, a 6'2", 165-pound body, through a crowded bar, down a stairwell, past cameras, without anyone noticing? Theory 3. Voluntary disappearance. Brian's mother had just died. He was stressed about medical school. Maybe he wanted out, but he left everything behind. His car, his phone, his entire identity. He had a plane ticket to Miami with Alexis for spring break, wedding plans, a father recovering from cancer who'd just lost his wife. And then there's Clint. William Florence, Brian's friend that night, refused to take a polygraph test. Police asked him multiple times. He declined, invoking his right to remain silent. His attorney said he'd cooperated with the investigation and owed them nothing more. Clint never publicly discussed the details of that night, never gave interviews. Years later, he became a lawyer himself. He's never explained what happened in those final hours, why he left Brian at the bar, or why he won't take a polygraph. Does that mean he's involved? Not necessarily, but it's unusual. Detective Andre Edwards, who worked the case, put it simply, there's someone who knows what happened to Brian Shaffer. Someone's not telling us everything. Yet none of this explains what Brian's father, Randy, discovered 2 years later. Randy Shaffer never gave up. He spent years searching for his son, put up billboards, hired private investigators, kept Brian's cell phone active for years hoping he'd call. In 2008, Randy appeared on an episode of a true crime show about Brian's disappearance. During the taping, he revealed something strange. A few months after Brian vanished, Randy was in a restaurant when he thought he saw his son. He called out, the man didn't respond. Randy followed him into the parking lot, but the man got into a car and drove away before Randy could reach him. Was it Brian, or a father seeing his missing son everywhere? Randy Shaffer died in 2008, never knowing what happened to his boy. Here's what makes this case different from other disappearances. It should be solvable. This isn't a hiker vanishing in the wilderness or someone last seen on a lonely road. This is a man in a crowded bar with security cameras in a major city in 2006. Modern investigation, digital footprints, witnesses, and yet, in 2020, the Ohio Supreme Court declared Brian Shaffer legally dead. His girlfriend Alexis had long since moved on, married someone else. The Ugly Tuna Saloona closed in 2017, but the case remains open. Columbus police still receive tips, still follow leads, because somewhere, somehow, in the space between 1:55 a.m. when Brian walked through that door and 2 a.m. when the bar closed, a man disappeared. The last words Brian said on camera were to those 2 women by the bar. One of them later told police what he said, "I'm going to see you again, right?" He was smiling when he said it, making plans, making jokes. Then he turned, walked toward the back of the bar, and ceased to exist. There are 47 minutes of security footage from that night. 47 minutes of people coming and going, laughing, drinking, living their normal lives. In those 47 minutes, Brian Shaffer entered the frame exactly twice. Once going in, once coming back, never leaving. Some investigators think he's in the Olentangy River, that his body settled into silt and debris and has been there for 20 years. Some think he made it out somehow, started a new life, became someone else. His brother Derek once said, "The worst part is the hope. Every time the phone rings, every time there's a knock on the door, part of you thinks, maybe the Ugly Tuna Saloona is gone now. The building's been converted. The bar where Brian spent his last known hours is just empty space. But sometimes, late at night, students walking past the complex swear they see someone on the second floor. Just a silhouette there for a moment, then gone. Security cameras, witness statements, physical searches. 20 years of investigation. None of it explains how you walk into a bar with one exit and never walk out. The door is still there, the same door everyone else used that night. Brian Shaffer's still missing, and there's nowhere else he could have gone.